Everybody give Coach Jabbar Juluke a big round of applause for coming on the Leadership Factory podcast today. Welcome, Coach Juluke.
Thank you for having me, GT. I appreciate you.
Hey, buddy, we are happy to be here. And I'm going to encourage everybody, make sure you got a pad and a piece of paper, because if it's not on paper, it's vapor. If you don't summarize, it'll vaporize. Get a pen and paper, because I'm going to challenge you at the end, because Coach Juluke's going to drop a bunch of nuggets in here to help you become that inspirational leader that you are or that you're becoming. So get your pad and pen ready, and I want you to be able to have three things at the end, and I want you to be able to take those three things and turn it into one thing, the most effective thing you can do to knock the rest of the dominoes down, to help you become that inspirational leader that your team needs you to be, your family, and your company needs you to be. Coach, you ready to have an awesome conversation?
Yes, sir, I am. Appreciate you.
So what's the temperature in Gainesville, Florida today?
It is 98 degrees.
Okay. So I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. It's probably around 93, 94.
Yeah. With the humidity about 105.
Sounds like Louisiana to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Feels like home.
That's right. So just to go through our audience again to make sure everybody understands the premise of this podcast. We're here to build leaders, and a leader is a person who can inspire another person to take a journey that they're just not willing to take by themselves. So the first question out of the gate, Coach, is who is your best leader and why?
I have multiple leaders.
Coach, look, this is the Coach Juluke hour. You're free to move about the country.
That's right. I have multiple people that have inspired me to want to be a leader. The first person I would talk about is my mother. She's a great leader in the aspect of raising 7 kids, 5 boys and 2 girls, without a father. Right, my father was passed away when I was 3 years old, so we had to endure a lot of hardships during that time. But she was able to keep the family together. And we talk about someone inspiring someone to do things that they don't want to do. She was very inspirational in regards of getting education, right? How important it was, because she was a woman who lacked education, right? She dropped out of school when she was in 8th grade to have my oldest brother. She was 15 years old, right? And she continued on her journey to not allow that to stop her from being a person that she wanted to be. So her strength trickled down to where I am today, right? And having me being a person that I am and leading young people to be successful. So making sure that we all went to school. So she is 5 out of 7 college graduates, right? So that was very important for her to do. 7 out of 7 high school graduates, 5 out of 7 all graduated from college. And growing up in New Orleans and housing developments, that wasn't the norm. Right, so she had to continuously push us to be great, right? And one thing she always said, and it's always stick with me: do not let your situation dictate your outcome, right? Because even though we were in housing development, that didn't decide where we needed to go. So our attitude was always our altitude, as she would put it. So if you have a great attitude, it could take you wherever you want to go. She was always teaching us manners, to be respectful and be able to put ourselves in positions to continue to succeed. And so she's the first person that really inspired me to want to be a leader, whether that was at my home, in the sports, because she kept us in the sports. And then once we got into sports, the next people that inspired me were my coaches, because I didn't have a father figure, right? So I wanted to make sure that my coaches were leading by example for me. And, during the tough days, they were hard, but they were fair, if that makes sense, right? They wanted to make sure that they knew that life wasn't going to be easy, right? Especially coming where we came from. And then once they identified that I was talented at playing sports, they pushed me even further. Okay? They made me do things that I didn't know I was capable of doing. When I was tired, they pushed me harder. When I was not giving my all or playing to the best of my abilities, they showed me ways to pull that out of me, right? So all those guys were very important. I can go on and name them all. Coach Melvin Bush, Coach Anthony Williams, Coach Bernard Griffith, Coach Anthony Biegas, Coach Burton Burns. All of those guys were very important to me in my life, and they helped me become the man that I am because of.
So what are some of the things that you know about them? What did you see them do in their life, and how did they make you feel that they could pull that out of you?
The dedication, the love, the care, knowing that the tough love that they gave sometime was coming from a place of love. It wasn't coming from malice, right? It wasn't because they wanted to force their authority on me. They wanted the best for me, right? And some days I didn't understand it, right? I didn't know where it was coming from. I thought maybe they were being too hard at sometimes, but it really, really put me in a place of teaching me how to be tough physically and mentally.
Right. So, right. Because when someone is getting on to you, your first recognition is they don't like me.
That's right.
Right. But they did something for you that you looked at them and they got my best interest at heart.
That's right.
So
I had to learn it. I had to learn it. It was tough, because one, let's go back, right? No male figure in my life, no father. So when you were chastising, I thought you were criticizing or trying to challenge me in a way that I needed to defend myself. So at first I didn't understand what they were trying to do. So once I saw where they were coming from with the intent of pushing me to my max, right? They're trying to get the max out of my abilities as a ball player. So eventually I understood it. Didn't always understand it in regards of why they were doing it the way they were doing it, but I conformed to what they were trying to get me to do, right? So
to me, a little bit, that comes back to what your mom was teaching you.
That's right.
Because you said the word honor in there.
That's right.
Hard work.
Yes.
Because your mom laid some really good groundwork of principles, which is your foundational life.
That's right.
That you can move that foundation anywhere into a circumstance where that gentleman brought that hardness on you, because every child thinks they don't like you.
That's right. Right. I thought my mom didn't like me a few times.
Coach, I know you pretty good. I think me and you are a lot alike. We were probably both a handful.
That's right. Two handfuls. That's right.
That's right.
So, and then once I started to trust those guys, I trust my mother. I had to trust my coaches as I was going through this thing called life, and especially in sports. Sports was the avenue for me to continue my path of succeeding, surviving, right? Having an opportunity to get free education because my mom couldn't afford for me to go to college, right? And all of my
Where'd you go to college at?
I went to, first I started at Tyler Junior College. Okay. And I went to Southern University in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Okay. And I graduated from there in 1999.
Wow.
And with a sociology degree. And I got my associate degree as well, actually from Delgado. I just played ball at Tyler Junior College. So those were some very vital lessons that I learned, right? And I keep them in the back of my head. I remember those lessons because I try to apply them to the young people that I'm servicing right now, right?
So trust, you said the word trust. And in the winning edge world, trust is the electricity to the inspiration, which leads to transformation. Because without trust, you have nothing.
That's right. 100% agree with that.
Because you trusted your mom.
That's right.
She has shown you trust. She's been there consistently, just day in and day out. You trusted it because you fully depended upon her character and or her abilities to help you get what you desire.
Right.
But she's forming you. Okay.
Yes,
then you moved into this situation. Now think of a young man or a young man, lady that has never had anybody they could trust. Then you put them into that push and shove environment. What do you think they're going to do?
They're going to buy. They're going to. I'm not doing this. They're going to have some.
Right, because they've never trusted anybody.
That's right.
See, your mom built you an engine.
Yes, sir.
Where other people could put all the pistons on it and all them. I don't even know anything about an engine, but to build that in so it can run smooth. Because
That's
you
right.
run smooth, coach.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, you're a very calm individual.
Yeah, I try to be.
No, throw that out the damn window. You are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're going to run an option. Just pitch that to the side. You are. You are a calm person.
Appreciate
to me,
that.
that's why I trusted you when I met you.
Yeah.
You're just smiling.
Always.
You're always smiling.
Life is good, man.
Yeah. So that's a safe harbor.
That's right.
When you see someone smiling, you're not going to run from that person. You're going to go to that person because you
Inviting.
want to know why they're smiling about.
Right. It's inviting.
Right. Because to me, that's your special sauce in my personal opinion, watching you for 4 years.
Yes, sir, it is. I take pride in building. I try to be an elite relationship builder.
Say it again, coach.
Elite relationship builder.
Okay. Because our guests are supposed to be writing things down. I'd write that one down.
Yes, sir.
You're coaching at a Division I Florida Gators, one of the best programs in the country, and you're talking about I'm going to be an elite relationship builder.
That's right.
And they think everybody comes into Florida as the greatest players, and they do everything you tell them to do.
No, it's about relationships. Life is about relationships, man.
Life is about relationships.
We've relationship since 2013, 14, and here we are today, still building on our relationship that we have. And I tell people all the time, you can say I'm a bad ball coach. You can say that I don't know a lot of football. But I take pride in saying that you will never say that I'm a bad person. Right? Good people last in this business. Okay? And when you're a bad person, bad things are going to happen to you. It may not happen immediately, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. Right? You can't keep stepping on people's fingers and toes as you're climbing the ladder of success and not helping someone on the way up. So you need to lift as you climb and bring someone with you. But because if you don't do that, if you keep shunning people away, when you're falling, you better pray somebody stick their hand out to try to grab your ass before you hit that ground. So that's important, man. It's extremely important. Relationships.
Man, that's good, coach. Life is about relationships.
That's right. All right.
So how did you learn that? When did you figure that out?
I've always done that, GT.
Even when I was a child, teenager.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I've always
been a little bit of part of your personality, your hardwiring.
Yes, sir. When I was younger, man, I was fortunate enough to be one of the better players. So my teams were not always great. So I had to find ways to get my teammates to play to the level in which I was playing and not criticize them, right? So I'm like, man, come on, you can make that shot. You can get that rebound. Hey, get it next time. So I tried to do that. And also, I just had an outgoing personality, right? Never had lack of confidence in anything that I did. We could play spit to the line. We could play jump rope. We could play hopscotch. It didn't matter.
I can beat you in jump rope. I'll smoke your head.
I do double dutch. I can
whatever you can do. I can top you, coach.
So that's where it comes from, man. And I always, as I gotten older, I started using this analogy here. How do you know if someone's hiring if you never put in an application? So I have to see if I'm a person that you want to be around. Right? You have to show yourself friendly in order to befriend a friend. You're not walking up to somebody that's grumpy and like, I don't want to be around that guy. That person has a nasty attitude. But if somebody has an inviting attitude or a smile on their face, you're going to go talk to them. And I've never met a stranger, G. Never. I have no problem with talking to anyone on a consistent basis. And sometimes the conversations are well, sometimes they're not. They don't want to be bothered, but hey, have a great day. I just wanted to say hello because if you spark up something, we may have something in common that we can build on to be able to create something better for everyone else, So those are some of
that's
the
good.
things that I try to do.
To build on something, we can create something better.
That's right.
So you're just out talking to people with a hope and a trust that we can make things better.
That's right. Got to have a better world. We want to leave every situation we enter better than what we found it. All right.
Well, you starting to sound like Mama now.
That's right.
She said, Greg, don't you ever go anywhere and you don't leave it better than what you found.
That's right. So watch this, G. The audience can hear this, right? You're going to form an opinion about me after we interact with each other. You're going to say, he's an ass, or I like that guy. It's my job for you to make you say, I want to get to know that guy more. I want my son to play for that guy, right? Because I'm in a service business, right? Mm-hmm. How can I provide the best service to someone if I am not friendly when you meet me? You know, like if you are just walking in the grocery store. What's wrong with saying, hey, how you doing? Hello. You know, being from South Louisiana, you know, having manners is something that we just came quite naturally for us, you know. Especially in my neighborhood, you couldn't walk past an elderly without saying hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, you know what I'm saying? How you doing? You know, they're going to call your mom, you get an ass whipping and talking about that boy down here being disrespectful, you know, so.
We might need to get back to that.
That's right.
See, that's a community holding each other accountable to a standard.
Man, I can remember, G. My mom, we didn't have a lot of money. We had a lot of love. We were talking about neighbors being able to knock on their door and to get eggs or whatever you may be short on without having any issues. And I was going to tell you that my mom used to work at the community store for certain days, not every day when she was off from her other job. And she would tell me, she said, hey, go see Miss Sylvia and make a bill, right? I didn't know what that was. I had no clue what making a bill was. I didn't know. But as I gotten older, I would go to the store and get cold cuts from the meat man, eggs, milk, water, juice, chips, snacks, whatever. And Miss Sylvia would drink it all up and put my mom's name on it and put it in the drawer. So my mom would either pay her or go work to work the bill off, right? And I didn't understand it until I got older as to what we were able to do. And but because we were able to have good relationships with people and people trust you, you can do things. We can have a better way of life, right? Now, society isn't like that. You know, we got people for whatever reasons may have issues with people being too friendly or people talking too much to them or whatever. Like, I just like to have constant communication because that one conversation can spark something that can benefit both of us.
I hope everybody's getting these nuggets down that you're just dropping out of the air, Coach.
When you can be a blessing to someone and not always receiving a blessing, it's good, right? I'm not a big Bible thumper, but I know it's better to give than it is to receive.
That's right. Yeah, that makes no sense to your brain.
That's right.
It's because it's doing something hard.
That's right.
The most blessings I've received in my life, I had to go through something hard to get that blessing.
That's right.
Everything's hard. Everything that you want in life is on the other side of fear and on the other side of hard.
That's right. Monty Williams said that.
Say that again.
Monty Williams said that the thing that you want is on the other side of hard. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, until you're willing to go through that, you're not going to get what you want. So don't be mad that you didn't get it because you wasn't willing to take the journey that was needed to get to where you wanted to go.
Without a test, there isn't a testimony.
Come on, Coach. That's good. Tell me about a leader that demotivated you. Don't say their name.
Right.
And tell me about their behaviors. And because we're trying to teach people how to inspire, you got a bunch of good stories there, a bunch of good nuggets. So tell me of someone who drained your energy, and why.
Just the selfish person. Very, very selfish. Everything that we established that was good, he thought he did it without the help of others. It's one thing to criticize, to give constructive criticism. There's another to criticize, right? If you continuously tear someone down, when are you going to build them back up? And this guy never built them back up, right? It was always hammer, hammer, hammer. But at some point, we got to try to take the nail out of there and give it some relief. Like, hey, I beat you down, but now I want you to show you the support that I have for you, right? Wasn't a whole lot of positive reinforcement, right? There was selfish.
Because positive reinforcement optimizes behavior.
That's right.
Negative reinforcement solves a problem.
That's right.
It's sort of like when you touch the stove and it's on, you may not touch because it's negative.
That's right.
But so the positive reinforcement gets scary in life because you can get a hold of the wrong thing that gives you an immediate positive reinforcement.
Correct.
But you want more of that. But long term, it traps you.
That's right.
Because my mom did a great job teaching me, Greg, you got to understand the short term pain becomes a long term gain. And a short term gain will become a long term pain.
That's right.
Because hard work is a short term pain, but there's a gain to it long term.
No quick fix.
No quick fix. Yeah, if it's a quick fix, you need to take a step back and go,
Right.
Everybody stop. Hold on. Let's think about this. No, quick fix is like, I don't know about that one. Let's talk about
it. Say, hey, I got a chance for you to make $1 million in a month. Oh, I don't want that million.
Oh, I can't. When people get on social media, another speaker and a coach, we were talking about all the information out there in life. Yeah. Whatever information you want, it's out there to take. But until you sit down and have a conversation with someone, it's hard to have transformation.
Actually, a guy told me, conversation rule a nation, man. You got to converse with people.
Say it one again, Coach. That's good.
Conversation rule a nation. You know, you got to be able to converse with people, man, and make sure that you don't ever want to get too high, GT, in thinking that you have arrived. Okay, I'm 52. I've been coaching for 30 years, starting my 30th season. And I am
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I am an active seeker of knowledge. All right. And I am always trying to find best practices to enhance what I'm doing for the young people that I'm servicing. Okay. I'm not afraid to tell you that I don't know something. Right? Because I'm going to go research it. Just like you just said, there's a lot of information out there. All right? I'm going to go research it to make sure that I give you the best answer that I can give to you from what I've learned. Right? Because my experiences are my experiences and have helped me to be where I'm at today. But I'm still seeking knowledge. I'm still trying to get better. Right?
And you're a lifelong learner, Coach.
That's right. 100%. Right? And
you can't survive in our economy in high competitive environments if you're not be a seeker of knowledge.
No, sure. Cannot.
You can't survive. You can't make it. Because what you were good at today doesn't matter tomorrow.
If I can't work this computer, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, they're going to change it tomorrow, so you got to learn something new. The people who get frustrated with learning and growing, it's just life.
You have to continue to evolve. The day you are stagnated on learning, the day you're done. You know, you can't survive if you don't have a growth mindset.
Come on, Coach.
Right? You have to have a growth mindset in order to continue to succeed in life. Because a fixed mindset, right? You're done learning. You know, it's over, right? Because this is what it is. I'm done with that. I don't need to build on it. right? And in our profession, we are always evolving, especially with young people. Okay, it goes from these young people spend over 50 hours a week on their cell phones, right? So we used to give out papers for tips and reminders. And I was like, no, I'm going digital. So now I make my boys their tips and reminders or their screensaver. They're gonna pick this phone up. They're gonna pick that phone up, right?
That's a
And
shrewd move, coach.
right, you know, they're
That's
gonna pick the
playing
phone.
that coach. So like when I played high school basketball, I played point guard, and the coach said, Greg, take what they give you. You're trying to force yourself down the lane. Take what they give you. And that's what you're doing. What are the circumstances? What's the end game? And you're taking the circumstances and you're playing to the end game through those circumstances. You're
100.
not complaining about the circumstances. You're going to figure out how to deal with the circumstances to get to where I want to get to. Now that's a leader.
That's right.
That's
You
good. I like that.
better find a way. Now when we have our dinners for team meals at our table, everyone got to put their phone in the middle of the table, right? Got to put it in the middle of the table so we can have some conversation.
That's
And
good, coach.
during that time, we're talking about financial literacy. We're talking about real estate. We're talking about girls, marriage, family. It becomes a melting pot of things that we can talk about. And just to put the phone down for a 30-minute window.
That's good. Coach, who is your unsung hero?
My older brother. His name is Byron.
Well, you didn't flinch, coach, on that one.
No. He's a guy that I wanted to emulate. His standards were worthy of emulation, right? In the sports world, right? He was one of my coaches as well. And I give you a quick story about him when he first coached me. And I'm talking, the coaches already, they were riding me already, right? And he rode me even harder. I was like, I'm going to tell my mama. So I get home.
Byron rode you even harder.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, my older brother, Byron. And I get home and I tell my mom. And she say, well, he loves you. I don't know if this love right here, man. This is killing me.
That's awesome.
So she told him, right? I don't know if she told him what I said, or she told him what I said for sure, but I don't know if she told him to ride me harder than what he was doing, because he came back the next day and he wore my butt out, man. He wore my butt out, man. But he also was the guy that would go in the courtyard and work on things with me, one-on-one, right? And then and I wanted to be a coach because he was a coach as well. And he just was a person that, reason why I went to St. Augustine High School, I wanted to be like him, right? He's just a guy that did everything in my eyes could not be wrong. Anything I wanted to be like him, right? He's no longer with us now, but I can remember all of the lessons that he gave, all of the examples that he led with, for me, and the milestone.
So you're keeping his legacy alive through your behaviors and actions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am.
That's good. Good for you, man.
Yeah,
so how do you take another step when you get stuck, coach?
I take a step back, away, I should say, not back, away from the circumstances or the situations that I'm in. I try to make sure that I'm taking every step possible to recuperate, right? To figure out what are the things that I'm doing correctly, what are the things that I'm doing incorrectly so that I can have a better understanding of what I'm doing. Right. So I just step away from it for a moment. It's almost like sitting at the computer all day. If things start to get crossed on you, you just shut it down for a minute and come back. And when you look at it again, you're like, there it is. I just needed a timeout. I needed a 30-second timeout to figure it all out, right? So I just try to relate everything to playing ball. When the momentum shifts, great coaches call a timeout. Right? Try to figure out how to get the momentum back. So when you take a timeout, you get to reflect on the things that are taking place right in front of you.
Yeah, somebody needed to hear that right there. That just kind of stuck. Like when things change and things are getting chaotic, that's when a leader's got to step back and just sit and go, okay, what's really going on?
Right.
Is it
reassess
me? Is it me and my emotions, or what's going on here?
That's right. Take a timeout.
Timeout, coach.
Yep.
Call a TO. Mickey's called a timeout with me many times, coach. Mickey's my wife, if you didn't know that out there.
That's right. She's the real coach.
That's exactly right. So what would you tell your 21-year-old self?
Be patient. Be patient. At 21, I wasn't patient. I wanted things immediately. Right? I wanted success immediately. I wanted to, anything that I did, I try to skip steps sometimes. Right? Don't skip steps. You know, like when you're doing algebra and you try to skip steps and there's a negative somewhere in there and you forget it, right? Because you skipped a step. Don't skip steps, right? Trust what you're doing. Trust the people you're around, that they're going to help you become the best version of yourself. And then I would also say, surround yourself with good people, right? Everyone cannot be on this journey with you. Sometimes you got to take this ride by yourself, right? And you might have to meet some new people in order for the journey to continue to go, right, where you want it to go. So my mom is always
because people come in and out of your life for a reason.
That's right. That's right. 100%.
If you're not open to everybody, you're going to miss the person that God sent to you.
100%. You know, it's a reason for everything. So just be patient, right? Surround yourself with good people. But when you surround yourself with good people, make sure you have some people telling you when you're wrong. You don't want to surround yourself with a bunch of yes people. They're just telling you yes, yes, yes.
That's an echo chamber.
That's right. You need someone know. You need a no in there every now and again and say, hey, man, that ain't good. We ain't doing that today. All right, let's go this way. Don't do this. And when you have that village or you have that community, right, we talked about earlier, to help you become the person that you are and continue to water that seed so you can continue to grow and you can be oxygen for someone else. You know, that's important for us to be able to continue to do.
Yeah, we're put here to build each other up, not tear each other down. But that 100%. Doesn't mean tell people a lie to build them up, tell them the truth, but you do it in a heart of love to build them up, not to tear them down.
100%.
See, you can speak truth to me and hurt me, but if your heart says, I love you, and if I can't see that, that's on me.
That's right.
Now, you got to present it in a way that's inspiring me to see what you're saying and you're trying to help me.
100%.
I mean, that's a slippery slope.
Yes, it is.
Instead of just saying what you're doing is right, and I think it's wrong, and I know and believe that it's wrong, that's a ambiguous in its own manner. But
you have to have
I'm going to speak life into you, but my goal in my heart says, I love you so much. I don't want you to stay where you're at. I believe in you that you can go to another level. But if you don't stop doing this, you can't get there.
Correct. And you have to surround yourself with like-minded people, with like attainments. All right.
All right, Coach. Last question. What's your winning edge? What's your special sauce?
relationship, again, building and earning trust from people. Right? I think that trust is earned. It's not just given away. I have to show people that I genuinely care about them outside of the sport. Right? I believe that when you have someone that cares or know that you care, they'll run through a wall for you. Right?
Yeah, that's inspiration, Coach.
Yeah, they're gonna run through a wall. And I want people to run through walls and create opportunity for themselves. I want to make sure that the relationships that I have built in the past are lifelong relationships. Even the bad ones, GT.
That's right.
Even the bad relationships, right?
Because you want to help them too.
That's right. That's right. Because at some point, whether it was my fault, because I'm not saying that it was their fault the whole time that it became a bad relationship. Eventually, we're going to take that time out and sit back and say, you know what? I screwed that up, man. I need to go make that right with GT. All right? But now, they may be receptive or they may not be receptive, but my conscience and my heart is going to be clear. You know what I'm saying? Because I came back and said, hey, man, I made a mistake. My bad. I apologize. Hopefully we can continue to move forward, because when I was 23, 20 to 21-year-old, I'm not that person today. All right? And I hope that someone can see good in everyone. Right? But you got to find the right buttons to push to get it out of them.
That's good, Coach. Boy, you that's a great way to close this session, dude. That's awesome. Coach Juluke, I'm just honored that you would spend an hour with me and in the Leadership Factory's community. So we're very thankful for you. Good luck on this season. Go Gators. This could be aired when the Gators are playing on Saturday, whenever that is. But really, thank you so much. I'm maybe your biggest fan from afar, Coach, because you and I connected back at Louisiana Tech in 2013. We first met each other because we're both Rockheads, but we love people and we want the best for people. So
yes, sir.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for everybody listening. I hope you got 3 things down, because he dropped about 50. I got a whole list of things that he told me that I need to straighten up and get after it, or I'm going to be on the bench this weekend.
That's right. That's right.
So thank you all for listening. Come up with that one domino effect that can knock the rest of your dominoes down, so you can have a very long-lasting career of being an inspirational leader. You had something to say. Go ahead, Coach.
I want to say thank you. I appreciate you having me.
You're welcome, buddy.
I hope that this helps someone, all right, that have an opportunity to inspire others to be great in their own way, whatever that looks like. Thank you again. I appreciate you, and I appreciate our friendship, man. And we never talked about the coach acronym either the whole time.
You want me to go ahead and say, Coach is one that taught me about Coach, COACH, called out as Christ helper.
Yes, sir. That's the name of the foundation too, man.
No, that's, hey, we were playing Texas. What was the name of that school? North Texas in Dallas, Texas in 2013 in the hotel. You told me about that. You were so fired up about that because your pastor just gave that sermon out the week before.
That's right. Yep. Appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir.
Love you, buddy. Thank you very much, man. Hey, thank you all for tuning in. Hey, as we always say here on Leadership Factory Podcast, let's grow. Thank you all.
All right. God bless.